turbo tempo out there today, Coach? How fast are you guys pushing this thing?
I think it's really good to. Well, that's an intense question. I think it's always good to practice at that tempo, because then when you want to use that tempo in a game, it's not foreign and it's not something that it's like a fire drill out there. It's actually practiced over and over again. But again, we're not ever going to be one of those teams that wants to run 110 plays a game. We're going to be an up-tempo team that varies the tempo to keep the defense off balance.
Coach, what have you seen from Kyle Porter with the opportunity that he's been given in the absence of pretty much everybody?
Knock on wood, he's seizing it right now. He was player of the game in the scrimmage Saturday, and runs hard. It's really hard to run against our defense, and we know that. And the offensive line has taken a while to adjust to that, which is good. By the time fall camp rolls around, there won't be a front or a blitz that has ever been invented that they haven't seen. But until then, it's taken them a while, and Kyle never complains, never asks for a play off, always goes full speed. He's always kind of diving. He makes yards as he's getting tackled. He never gets driven backwards. So he's been a joy to be around thus far.
What's the freak of the week? What exactly?
He's player of the game. Player of the scrimmage. Yeah.
I thought you might have been a Parliament fan. I didn't know that.
Oh.
Coach, what about from a receiver standpoint? I know you said that's a strong position. What have you seen from Gerard and maybe even Duvernay?
That whole position group's got to get tougher. Really talented, but really not physically tough. The way I was talking to Colt McCoy out there at practice today, and we were talking about wideouts, and he was oohing and awing at how beautiful they looked on the hoof. And I said, they got work to do in the toughness department. And again, I don't tell you guys anything. These guys have heard that from me, so I get a little surprised sometimes. I read reactions that I tell the media certain things. Trust me, I've told the wide receivers, I've told Coach Maringer, I've told Coach Beck, they need to get tougher. They know, and they're working on it. They want to, but I said, yeah, and this is coming from a guy that coached wideouts for 5 years, and so I kind of know the stereotypical personality of a wide receiver, and it's not very conducive to our culture. And Coach Maringer is getting that out of them slowly but surely. And I asked Colt, and it was funny. I said, because it just slipped my mind, I said, did you ever know or be around some really tough wideouts? He said, oh yeah, Quan Cosby and Jordan Shipley. Those were some bad dudes. And so my challenge to our wideouts right now is go be as tough as Quan Cosby and Jordan Shipley.
Have you had Quan talk to the guys? Because I know that he's been at some practices, including today's.
He has not talked to the receivers. He's around, maybe one-on-one. He's in our building. He's always welcome. But that's a great idea. It's probably something we need to do.
Tom, I know your Twitter game is strong. Do you like that Kyle Porter is no social media whatsoever?
I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. Anytime a guy can go old school. Is he on no social media, no Instagram, Snapchat, MySpace,
Wasn't in high school either.
Reddit, none of that stuff?
Betamax.
Maybe no.
Yeah. No, I think that's fantastic. He's probably that's like a unicorn these days. You don't see a 19, 20-year-old kid without any social media presence. So I applaud him for that.
You said that real football's played in the pads and helmets, and I know you hate that shorts and shells. Is there a time now where you are starting to see who needs more work and who doesn't, based on what you've seen in pads?
There's no difference. Not to coach speak, we all need the work. Saturday was not great. We had a long team meeting today to address, a lot of we put 10 clips on the video screen, offense and defense, of sub-maximal effort. And when we're live scrimmage situation, it is unacceptable to give anything other than your maximum effort. And so We just need to keep playing and instill in them and applaud and praise those that do well and those that exemplify our culture, and then point out and continually point out those that don't, and make sure that they're being taught what the expectations are around here every single play.
When you get contact in scrimmage, are you seeing defense hold an edge over the offense, I guess, in that kind of battle?
Yeah, usually. I mean, I would hope it'd be that way through 8 practices. You know, it's again, I use the analogy, and Coach Orlando may disagree with me, but on defense, 10 guys can screw up and one guy makes a great play and you got a TFL or a sack or whatever. On offense, 10 guys can do perfect and one guy screw up and you got a TFL or a sack or whatever. And so, defense is about running to the football and having a really bad attitude when you get there, and taking your shot, not being afraid to miss a tackle, knowing that 10 other guys are right behind you, sprinting their tails off to have your back, where offense is much more choreographed, and so that choreography takes a lot longer. So short answer, yes, the defense certainly has had the edge here in scrimmage situations, but I've seen some signs of life from the offense here lately.
How does Connor Williams look on that left tackle position?
Great. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason he's an All-American.
Through 2 practices, through 2 scrimmages, who have been the 2 guys, offense and defense, who really impressed you the most? Some guys who you didn't think were going to be as good as they are.
Poona Ford and PJ Locke. Those guys, you feel those guys when you're standing out there, especially Poona playing that zero nose, man. Whew, he's a handful for any center. And then PJ, just from his energy and playmaking ability.
Other than Connor, what have you seen from the other guys who compete for the tackle spots at right and then the second team tackles?
Good, not great at right tackle. We've got with Tristan and Denzel, we've got to find a guy that can just snatch that position and take it and run with it. And right now they're kind of, battling. They take equal amounts of reps with the 1s and 2s, and really nobody's separated himself. And we need to find a 4th tackle, and we're working guys around, and with JP and some of those guys. But I've never, usually if you go into a season and you got your starting 5, you got a backup inside guy, a backup tackle, so 7, maybe 8. If there's teams out there that feel good about putting their 9th or 10th lineman in there, I want to meet them and see what they're doing, because I've never been around even our national championship team at Ohio State. We had 1 backup inside guy, 1 backup tackle.
What do you like about Deshaun Elliott so far?
Well, he's an effort guy. He's faster than, not that I thought, I didn't think anything, but his speed has impressed me, and his ability to process. This defense is very complex for guys in the back end, and the 2 safeties. I mean, and he's done a really good job of processing that and getting better each and every practice.
Tom, the B-backer position on defense, can you put into words like the importance of that position and what you need to get out of whoever's in that spot?
Yeah, the importance is, in order to be as multiple as we want to be, from an odd front to a 4-down front to our 3rd down package, all of that guy's got to be a hybrid pass rusher, linebacker, and cover guy. So he's got to be able to take on blocks from tackles and tight ends, but also drop in coverage and reroute a slot receiver, play man-to-man on a tight end. And so those are the things that make that position so unique. And I've been happy with how we're progressing with the 2 guys there, and Nashawn Hughes and Jeffrey McCulloch. They've been I've noticed them more and more as the weeks go on.
McCulloch's kid you mentioned in one of the first practices, a cerebral kid, just in terms of your first impressions of him. What have you noticed since the pads have come on?
Well, usually guys that are that cerebral are not the toughest cats, to be honest with you, and so his physicality, he's nowhere near a finished product, but he's definitely not scared. He'll throw his stuff in there and do the dirty work, and he's got to get better. But that was good to see here the last few times we put the pads on.
Little Jordan Humphrey and Reggie Hemphill-Maths were two guys who didn't really see the field last year, but are now playing in the 1s and 2s. What have you seen from them that has really impressed you the most, that to put them in those 1s and 2s?
Reggie has got great speed and quickness. He's got a knack. You can tell he's played high school football at a very high level because he's got a knack for route running. And obviously the thing that sticks out about LJ Humphrey is his size. I mean, it's tough when that guy bodies you up. If you're a corner or a safety, it's tough to get around him.
What a huge week for you and your football program. 5-time Super Bowl champion Coach Belichick will be in the house for your debut Coaches Clinic. How huge is it to have Coach here, and are you hoping that not only the coaches here get to hear him, but are you also hoping he gets to speak to you and your team?
He is going to speak to our staff, and certainly we'll try to get him in front of the team before practice. He's scheduled to spend a couple hours with our staff, and it's a tribute to what the University of Texas is, and it's a tribute to the guys that have played for us, not just at the University of Texas, but us as a coaching staff that have gone there, the Malcolm Browns of the world and the Elandon Robertses of the world, that Coach Belichick would think enough of us to want to do that and to want to come spend some time. And again, it's our privilege to give that back to the high school coaches in the state. It'll be, according to Jan Allgood, the most attended high school spring clinic that we've ever had here, which is a testament to obviously his draw power, but also, you know, our relationships with the high school coaches and they're feeling welcome to come here to Austin. Thanks.